Ugh, gray hair. Yeah, so I just got back from doing an interview at a casino, right? And anyways, it was a pretty quick interview because they said they were interviewing like other people, I guess, for the same position. It was just basically wiping off slot machines and picking up garbage around the perimeter and making sure the bathrooms are clean, right, in the casino. Basically, it's kind of like a gopher. You're just running all over the place. And anyways, I'm like, I kind of, it was weird because I walked in the casino and I kind of felt like, it felt depressing when I walked in there, you know? Like there's like a sadness or something around that place. Like depressing because people, they're just gambling away all their money and stuff. And I kind of felt like, kind of like I didn't really fit in there. I'm like, this is doesn't feel right. Like when I walked in, it kind of felt foreign to me, even though I've been in this place before because I live around the area. But I felt like this doesn't feel right. You know, I kind of got a vibe that maybe I don't belong there. Like I don't really need to be there. Not because the place is bad or anything. It's just kind of like I didn't fit in, and I kind of felt it right off the bat. Like it doesn't feel like I belong here. I felt like that too when I interviewed for McDonald's. It was that same kind of vibe I got. Like this is not really the right place for me. And I think it's God. I think He sends like signs to you that maybe something isn't quite right. It's not. It's not fitting. The jigsaw puzzle's not fitting. So I kind of got that vibe when I walked into the casino. And I had a hard time parking because I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to park because they changed out all the parking, I guess, where you have to park in the parking garage because they're renovating the hotel part of the place. And I really wanted to be a housekeeper, but they said they didn't have any housekeeping positions available. So I'm like, well, that's okay. You know, I'll try out for this job. And I kind of rushed into it anyway, this job. But it was because I didn't want to take this other job. It was not because I didn't want to take it, but it was a busboy job. And I'm too old to be a busboy. And I'm like, I don't want to do all that. And it doesn't really fit what I do. And I don't want to take some job under false pretenses that I would be happy doing or I would want to do something like that. I don't want to take a job under those circumstances. So I just got like a really bad, weird, not like evil, but just kind of sad vibe, you know, like you don't really fit in here, you know. I didn't feel welcome when I walked in. I didn't feel at ease, you know. Like I've had housekeeping jobs where I walked in and I felt pretty good about it. Like I'd sit down and do an interview and I felt pretty good. And those two jobs that I had housekeeping, um, the interview went well and I actually felt really good about it when I interviewed. This one I didn't really feel like good about it. It's almost like they were studying me to see what was wrong with me. You know, I think they already had someone in mind when they interviewed me. They already knew who they were going to pick, right? I think they already knew that before that they already had narrowed it down to who they liked best. Because she's like, "Oh, we're going to do drug testing and we're going to do an FBI check and all that, and all this stuff, right?" And I'm like, "Fine, I don't care." I'm like, "I got nothing to hide." So, anyways, they said that, and oh, this is a 24-hour facility. This place is open 24 hours, and you're going to have to work graveyard shift if you're picked or selected or whatever. You're going to have to work graveyard shift, which is like 9 to 5 a.m. or something, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, I guess, you know, that's how you guys do it. And I was like, oh, well, I said, are you guys going to give me like a tour of the place, you know, so I can kind of get a better idea how this place works and what you want me to do or whatever. And she's like, yeah, of course, but not till you're hired or we select you. And it was okay. I'm like, fine. And then this other lady that was sitting next to her was all looking at me. She didn't say anything really. She just stared at me the whole time. And it's like, okay. Because I think they're looking for people that are tweakers, I guess, or want to know if they're tweakers. But it's like, fine, you know, whatever, dude. But I just kind of just got that vibe that I'd really fit in there. There's just something off about it, just right off the bat. Like it's not really the right place for me. And it's like an instinct you get in your gut. Feel it in your gut that something is just not sitting right. That it's like, I don't think this is going to work out. I can kind of feel it. Plus, it's kind of far away, too, from where I live. The job is kind of far away, and this kind of, it racks up a lot of miles on my car and the price of gas. I'm like, kind of not crazy about the idea of driving 12 miles from where I live, and it's like on the hills. So it eats up more gas and it puts more wear and tear on my car. So I'm like, I'd rather work closer. Um, if I'm going to do a job, I'd rather work closer, ideally. So I just didn't get a really good vibe, and it wasn't a housekeeping job, so it kind of wasn't fitting, you know. It just didn't fit, and I could sense it. Like they were looking at me like maybe it wasn't going to work, you know. Maybe it was a mutual thing because they looked at my resume and it's nothing but housekeeping experience. So maybe that's what it was, and I'm like, well, maybe it's not going to work out, and I felt bad about it because I had a bad feeling about it when I left. When I left the interview, I kind of like, yeah, this probably isn't going to work because they're going to look at my experience, my resume, and see it's all housekeeping, and this job is not literally housekeeping. So I'm just going to wait it out. I applied for other jobs, of course, naturally, because I'm not quitting. I'm not a quitter. But ideally, I'd rather be a housekeeper. So if there's a housekeeping job, I'm definitely going to apply for it. But I had the AI look it up, and they're like, "Oh, there's housekeeping jobs at this time," because the area I live in, there's no openings right now. So I'm like, well, I'll just be patient, you know, because once it starts to pick up again, business, because it's seasonal, it depends, you know, during the holidays and stuff. I'll just wait it out. And speaking of waiting it out, I joined that all casting website. It's a where they find talent, I guess. They help you get jobs or get hooked up with people that have jobs. I just got a message from All Casting, and they asked me to submit some more photos because they need more photos. And I was like really excited right after I got I got turned down for that job. And then I got that message. I opened it up by messages, and I got that message from a caster. It's from a magazine, and it's for next month's cover. And they want more photos so they can, I guess, narrow it down to people they want to pick for that magazine. And I guess it's a really well-known magazine. I'm not going to say what it is, but apparently they liked my photos enough to where they want me to give them a couple more photos so they can decide. I guess there's probably at least 100 other candidates that they have that they're considering, but I want to be in the runnings, you know, because that would be awesome. And he said it's an online audition, so you don't have to travel for this one. You can just do it from your computer or whatever, and they'll make a decision on that. And I'm like, well, that's cool because that way I don't go all the way down to Los Angeles and then be let down. You know, it's just easier to get let down through the online audition. Then I won't be as upset. You know what I mean? So it's awesome. I'm like, okay, I got turned down for this job interview, but then I get this message saying, submit more photos because you've been selected as one of our candidates that we might possibly use for that magazine cover. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, he's like, you might want to submit professional photos if you have them. Those would be a lot better than just regular photos that you have. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, dang. And he's like, P.S. I really liked your cover photo. And I'm like, I literally almost crap my pants when I read that. So I'm like, hey, maybe God doesn't want me to pick up garbage around the casino and wipe off slot machines because that's what I interviewed for, right? And I'm like, wow, this is interesting. It's really interesting. So I'm gonna like take some more pictures, take more pictures and then send them in. So maybe he'll let me have a chance. I don't know. It's the guy that's the photographer guy. So I'm hoping he'll let me have a chance. Because I saw his profile, I saw it on there, and he's a professional. There's a professional studio. They take pictures for their magazine covers. So maybe I'll get to meet some people. I don't know. I'm getting all nervous. But it's only one message, so I might get turned down too, probably. So I'm not going to get my hopes up too much. Because I mean, I did literally get turned down for a job picking up garbage. So maybe I shouldn't get my hopes up too much. But I'm excited at the same time. So I just came back from my job interview, and then I opened up my email, and then they're like, "There's a message from All Casting," and I'm opening it. I'm like, "Oh, it's probably just some regular message." And then I open it, and then I see there's a message, and it says from this magazine, and they're like, "We liked your cover photo and all that, and submit some more photos to us, and let's decide from there." And I know I'm going to be competing against hundreds of other people. Naturally, there's going to be hundreds of other people that they're going to consider. But I'm just like, what the hell, you know? And I don't even know how to use their format, how to even upload videos or anything. I don't even know how to do it. I don't know how you do it. So I haven't put any videos up. They're like saying put videos up, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to upload them. And it's like add a reel, and it's like I don't know how to do that. So yeah, I've only had this for like 4 days. This account, this casting account. So I'm hoping I get some more messages. And I didn't apply for any theater jobs because I don't have any theater experience. But that made me really happy getting that message. That kind of made my day. But I'm still going to apply for jobs naturally, regular jobs. I'm not going to put my eggs in one basket. But it actually makes me really happy because that really bummed me out being turned down to pick up garbage around a casino. I'm like, man, I must really be a piece of crap that I'm not good enough to pick up garbage around the casino. But I don't know, maybe God has other plans for me besides just doing that. I'm not saying I'm better than that, but I was willing to do it. I mean, if they would have hired me, I'd show up and do the job. No problem. But since they decided to go in another direction, like they said, um, whatever, let's move on. I'll just apply for other jobs. Plus, I applied for other hotel jobs, hotel casino jobs. So I'm familiar with the hospitality business. So I'm not like against anything working. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with working those jobs. They're cool. So yeah, and I would have done that job too. I would have done it. No problem. I already had figured out what the ins and outs were within 5 minutes of when she was talking to me. It's just they went another direction. Maybe they had someone who was more qualified. Who knows? Someone who knows how to wipe off um, slot machines better than me. I don't know. I don't ever know. I don't know. I don't care. But I just got that message, so I just thought I'd make a video about it. I was just so excited. I didn't know what to do. And here's my fake eyelashes. I bought these over a year ago. So yeah, I mean, I'm not like that. I tried them on before. They kind of felt weird, but I'm not against that either. I'm like, well, I guess if I gotta pick up my looks a little better, then I'll do it, I guess. But I couldn't even imagine being on a magazine cover. That'd be so crazy. That'd be so insane. You know what I mean? It's literally insane. I mean, I literally just interviewed for a job to pick up garbage off the ground and wipe off slot machines and refill toilet paper dispensers. I mean, that's who I am, I guess. So I'm just like really happy. So, anyways, he's like, "P.S. I really liked your cover photo, like in the note or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's just crazy." So yeah, if Josie's watching, you should probably try to apply for it too, because you never know. Because they said they're looking for all kinds of looks and stuff like that, different body types, all that. They don't care. A lot of these companies don't care. They want to kind of mix it up because they're like, we're a diverse company and we like all types of looks. Oh, you couldn't find it, huh? Oh, it's probably buried. Even though I'm a what do you call that, a wrench on your channel, right? But it don't matter. I'm just thinking about this job right now. Now I got to take some pictures. I'm just like, I was weirded out by that because I just got turned down for a job to pick up garbage around the casino, and I was gonna do it too if they give me the job. If they would have given me the job, of course I'd take it. There's no problem. I'd go to work and whatever, do what they told me to do. It's fine. But they didn't. They decided to go another direction, which is fine. But yeah, this email that I got from that guy from the magazine, I can't say the name of it because I don't want to disclose things right now, but that was like really nice. That was like a really nice letter. And I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? And I'm not a professional, and that picture I took and put on there was not a professional photo. It was like basically like what I'm doing right now and put on there. You know what I mean? With my gray hair and stuff. So I don't know. They do have a bathing suit competition on there where they take pictures of people in bathing suits for their magazine. But I'm like, I'm not doing the bathing suit one. But he does do the bathing suit photos for their magazine. I guess it's like a fashion magazine. Um, Different looks. I guess they want different looks. So so insane, isn't it? How one door closes, another one opens. Where one thing doesn't work out, another thing works out. So yeah, my ego's a little inflated, but I have to deflate it because it's an online audition, so I don't have to drive down there. You said good news, you don't have to drive down here to audition or try out for the spot. You can do it online. We'll just online audition. So I'm like, oh wow, cool. You know what I mean? I'm just like ready to puke, you know? You know what I mean? And there was this other job I applied for, and it's in New York, and it's like all expenses paid. Like they'll pay for your flight and all that, and hotel. And it's a fashion thing. It's like a fashion shoot. And I applied for it, and they're like, you know, no, I haven't heard anything back, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't like flying that much, but if they're willing to pay all expenses and all that, where you don't have to pay for the hotel or your air flight and all that, food, they cover it. It'd be like, oh crap, you know what I mean? That'd be so cool. I just have to not talk about Trump and all that. I just have to shut up. You know what I mean? Just I'm nothing. I'm nobody. That's so cool, right? Yeah. So Josie, you should check it out because they did give you a few offers, right? They threw some bones at you. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they like your YouTube channel. Maybe that's why they're messaging you because they like your YouTube channel because your YouTube channel's picking up, picking up subscribers. So maybe they're interested. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a resume like that, you know, because my channel's not growing. So they couldn't use my YouTube account as a reason to say anything to me. So oh yeah, yeah, that's a good reason to not fly, Tammy. Yeah, because of the 11 thing, the number 9 and then the numeral 11. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean that would be deterrent. Not wanted it. Yeah, and it's all the way in New York. So I kind of got nervous about that idea about the New York thing. I kind of got a little nervous about like signing up for that or being interested in that. Be like, I don't know. But they did say they'd pay for flight and expenses and all that and hotel cost. They would cover that if you were picked. And I'd be like, I know I'd puke. And then even Nick's like, if you flew all the way to New York, you'd probably be so nervous you'd throw up. And I'm like, I probably would. I'd probably puke on the way there. You know what I mean? It's like I've never been to New York in my entire life, so I don't even know what to do. I wouldn't even know what to do. I've never left California. I've never went out of California except for Idaho. That's the only place I ever went to is Idaho. It's the only other state I've been to is Idaho. I've never been to any other states. So I couldn't imagine going to New York. That would just be completely insane. I wouldn't even know what to do. Yeah, I'd be so scared. I have to have Nick with me, so I wouldn't puke, because he's smart. He knows what to do. He has street smarts, so I wouldn't want to go without him. So I'd be too nervous, being by myself and trying to figure it out by myself. Because it's bad enough going to Los Angeles, and not being nervous. It'd be worse in New York. Like the anxiety would be even worse going to New York. Like puke, you know what I mean? It's not like the movie, where you watch a movie, it's based in New York. It's probably nothing like that. Not at all. It's probably very nerve-wracking. Especially if you don't know your way around, you're an out-of-towner. They made a movie called Out of Towners too, from the 60s. I don't know if you ever seen it, but it was Jack Lemmon and this other actress. But were from Ohio, right? And they went to New York because her husband got a job offer in New York, and they flew down to New York for his interview, and they had nothing but trouble since they landed in New York. Nothing but problems. They had to end up on a train and all that because they didn't land in the right spot. So they had to take a train to get to New York, and his wallet got stolen, and they had nothing to eat and that kind of thing. And somebody gave away their hotel room and all that, and it's just a nightmare. And then he decided he didn't want to live in New York after that. He was like, "This is, oh my God, this is insane. I'm not moving my family to New York." You know what I mean? This is just from like 2 days. This is what we had to go through. Being mugged and all that. It's like, no, I'm not going to move my family to New York after that little experience flying in to get to the interview. And he took his wife there as kind of like a fun little trip, like a vacation for the two of them. It turned out to be a nightmare. And they ended up in Central Park and sleeping out in Central Park because they have nowhere to sleep because they gave away their hotel room. And he got mugged. It's just crazy. Escape from New York movie too. Yeah, that would just make me nervous. I don't know. I could not go by myself because I'm like, I don't know my way around there. None of that. It's not like it was. It's not like the movies where you watch movies, about New York. It doesn't look like too big of a deal, but it actually probably is a big deal. Going to New York, it's probably very nerve-wracking, scary. Because you don't know anybody there. What if you don't know anybody? There's no one there to help you, If you get lost or something, no one's going to help you. You just get mugged and raped or whatever while you're there. It's like, this is horrible. You know what I mean? And everybody just looks at the ground. Nobody makes eye contact. It's just scary. It just looks scary. Yeah, so I would not want to go there by myself. No way. Plus, I'm worried about all the 19 stuff, I'd be worried about that if they were going to start that crap again. I'm like, I would just not do it. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to put myself out there and be around all that crap. Like you said, they do all that frisking and stuff when you're in the airport. Because the last time I took an airplane was in 1994. And I rode Southwest. And I went to, I think we landed in Spokane, and I got picked up there. And went up to Idaho to stay with my uncle up in Sandpoint. That was the last time I flew an airplane, was in 1994, Southwest Airlines. So, and then I flew back because I didn't want to stay with my uncle anymore. I flew back to California because I felt more at home here, even though California is kind of a crap hole, but I just wanted to go home where I was comfortable, because this is all I know is California. I felt kind of sick about it that I left it. So, yeah. So that's the latest thing, I guess. I'm not going to make too big of a deal out of it, but it did make me happy. You know what I mean? I felt happy about it. That, wow, it actually does work. Maybe it does work. Because it's like, maybe if nothing else works out, maybe that'll work out. I don't know. We'll see, right? But yeah, so far so good with that casting agency. It seems to be getting some doors to open. Maybe not all at once, but they are opening slowly. So I'm just going to test it out to see what my talents are, because I don't really know what they are unless somebody gives me a chance. So just saying, right? So anyways, that's the update I have. But that made me happy. I got turned down for that casino job. I went down and interviewed, and it didn't work out. And they called me like within an hour after I came home. So they made a decision pretty quick who they were going to pick. And maybe maybe we didn't vibe right. And maybe I didn't give off the vibe they needed to pick me opposed to other people. Which is fine, because then that just leaves the door open for other opportunities that I can find. Well, thank you, Tammy. I mean, I didn't really earn that email I got from that photographer guy. I haven't done anything to earn anything, so we'll just see what happens. I'll give him the pictures, and he may not even email me back after that. He might just move on and pick somebody else. But I'm hoping if he messaged me, maybe somebody else will, That's what I'm hoping, that maybe something else will pop up. or maybe some job, I guess, some regular job. But I'm gonna keep applying. I go to Cal Jobs and I'll just keep looking till something happens. Till like someone calls me and actually gives me a job instead of just interviewing and looking at me like I'm an insect or like a piece of crap under their foot. So just saying, right? I'm willing to work, Just, give me a tour place so I can kind of get a better idea where I'm working. So, that way when I come into work a week later or whatever, when you schedule me, I already know what to do. You like introduce me to the workers and stuff. Well, I'm not that amazing. All I did was go on a stupid website and hope for the best, right? I didn't have a lot of expectations, because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people that are submitting photos, and you know what? They have professional photos done of themselves, so they have a leg up on me. So they have probably a better chance of being picked than I do, because they probably airbrush and all that. So their pictures look pristine, They don't have any flaws. They don't have any freckles, nothing. No scars. They airbrush the crap out of their pictures. See me, I'm just like raw, It's like a piece of clay, and it's got like defects in it. So that's what I'm going to present, because I don't want to be deceiving. If they do pick it, I don't want to be deceiving, because then I won't look like what they think. So yeah, and it's not good to be deceiving, It's better to just be honest and let them see you in your raw form, Did you get work? Yeah, it's not actually a job offer. It's just because I got turned down from the other job. I'm on disability because I don't play well with others. I play well with others, just have to give me a job. So, yeah, I'm in pursuit of a job. So I say whatever comes first, whether or not that they're going to pick my pictures or get a regular job. I'm good with it either way, As long as I get something, I can start adding to our pot, our money. That's all I care about. Is I keep contributing as much as I can with the talents I have, which is not a lot. I'm really good at cleaning. That's about it. So if they did ask me, God, the off chance they do pick me, they go, "What are your talents?" It'd be like, "Oh crap, cleaning. I'm really good at cleaning. So extremely good at cleaning. I had a lot of more scars from cleaning. So if that makes your product look even better, maybe I could like do pictures of wearing like work clothes or something. The hospital clothes that nurses wear. Maybe on that, and it would really represent a real worker that actually works and like has scars, and the nurses would probably appreciate that. You're like, yeah, you're like one of us. You look like one of us. And maybe they want that. I don't know. I think that would be a really cool job, is to take pictures with work, have me do work clothes or something, like working class people, what working class people look like in uniforms, you know, and what those clothes go through on a daily basis, being worn every day, and the hard workers, and you know the families of the hard workers, kind of do videos and um, stuff like that, do videos and commercials like that, and people would really appreciate it, that you understand, that they work really hard, and they get on their hands and knees to have to scrub and clean things in their work clothes, and their work clothes get beat up, you know, and you wake up and you do it again and again and again. I have 8 years of experience, and I'm not saying I'm better than other people, but I have 8 years of doing that, cleaning up things that you couldn't even imagine every day, just horrible messes that just you couldn't even want to deal with. And that's what people like me do every day, to make sure you have a clean place to go to when you want to, gamble or whatever, or stay in a hotel, or you want to get some breakfast or whatever. I'm one of those people that keeps those areas clean. So maybe I could tell that to them. That's what I'm good at. But it might not be desirable, but it is the truth. I'm more like telling the boss to shove the job. I will have another tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not going to say that, but there's other possibilities out there. It just didn't fit. And it's fine, that maybe they didn't get that vibe from me, that, that I was, what do you call that, a team member? maybe they didn't get that vibe from me and they just went another way. And it's fine because it's not the end of the world because I've applied it like 6 or 7 other places. So I'll just wait it out. I was in line for food for a couple minutes. Shit is getting tough. Hope my unemployment check starts to come in. Yeah, you'll get yours because you're complying. And if you're applying for jobs and you're submitting every week, mine you have to submit every week, job searches. And you just say, all you say is you didn't refuse any work. Of course you didn't refuse any work. They'll give you your benefits. I just got mine. They were just giving me the bare minimum to start with. And then they finally did give me 3 weeks worth. So it helped out a lot because we were struggling so bad. So we have a little bit of like to live on till I can get a job. So you'll get yours too. You'll get it. Just keep going. Do you have to go online, Josie? Like if to check on your unemployment? Because if they have that, then you can just keep checking it and just make sure you don't have any reporting like requirements. Because if you do, make sure you report it. That way you get your checks, I guess, consistently. If you have direct deposit, oh, you have to call in. Yeah, just keep making sure you call in and just double check it. Make sure you don't have to report. Like if you have to report and you forgot, maybe just call and check in, make sure. That way you get your benefits. Because otherwise they'll say you're not complying or whatever, and then they won't give you your benefits. That's what I had to do. I had to keep mine's online in California. Ours are all online. You have to go to Cal Jobs and all that. EDD UI online. You have to go to that, and you have to file through that and submit all your unemployment to them. That's what I have to do. And I do it every week. Mine's not due until the 27th because I already submitted everything and the applications I put in. And I'm going to also put in that I just did an interview today and they went another way. I'm just going to submit that as well. That work was offered and they chose to not pick me. So they'll say that I am doing the best I can. So I got to go to the church once a month for food. Yeah, that's what we do too. Not all the time because I don't want to take away from others. But yeah, we go there for because there's a church we go to that has clothing and food, and we do get clothing there sometimes because my son is like outgrowing everything. So yeah, it's expensive. It gets really expensive with kids. It gets super expensive to try to buy clothes and shoes and for these kids, because everything is inflated. So yeah, I go to them sometimes and try to get something. I haven't gone in a while though. It's been like almost 2 months, but I might go again because I'm not getting hired right now. No one's hiring me. So you're not alone, Josie. Trust me, you're not alone. You're not the only one not getting hired, I'm going to keep applying on Cal Jobs and wait and see if anyone calls me. So, but I know what I'm good at. Housekeeping. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Josie. Yeah, and hopefully you find a job soon and someone will hire you because you got plenty of experience. So there's no reason why someone wouldn't hire you at a restaurant or something, doing like catering or something. So yeah, you shouldn't have any problems. Mine's just housekeeping. I don't have any other skill sets, so I'm not a professional cook. So maybe I wouldn't go in that direction because they wouldn't hire me, and plus I'd feel really intimidated by that. Doing cooking for like a bunch of people, I don't know if I could do it because I'm not professional. I know how to cook, but I'm not professional. Yeah, so have a good day, Preacher Josie. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for your support. So now you've been curious about that website. So it's not, so far I've gotten a message, so I'm going to see what happens with that. I don't know what'll happen. Maybe nothing will happen. It's fine. But in the meantime, I'm still going to keep looking for jobs. See what happens. Because I know I can get hired somewhere. Eventually someone will hire me and give me a chance. That's all I can do at this point. But yeah, this is just the first step I've taken. And I'm going to take other steps. Someone eventually will think I'm worthy to work for them. And I prefer to do housekeeping. So maybe I could do like a live-in housekeeping job, like cleaning someone's house, and then I get to live in the guest house. Because I saw there was a job available like a month ago, and They were offering that, but then they threw in, you have to be a nanny too and housekeeper. I'm like, oh wait, nanny? Yeah, they like you have to drive our kids to school and take them to band practice and all that. And it's like, oh, okay, well now it's getting interesting. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. So I didn't look into that one because I'm like, I don't want to be the nanny too. You know, I'll clean your house if you want, and I'll stay in the guest house with my family. That's awesome. But then they said nanny. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be a nanny. I don't want to take care of your kids. Because there's some housekeepers like, dude, I don't take care of kids. So you're gonna have to hire a nanny separately. You know, it's like you're not gonna have me do all this. You know what I mean? It did offer a really nice wage to work for them. Plus, you don't have to pay rent because you can live right on the property. But the thing is, I'm not being a nanny. It's like if you're cool with, taking care of other people's children and chauffeuring them around to school and back and then band practice and ballet class and all that, and you're cool with it and spending most of the time with their children and cleaning their house, I guess that's a perfect job. But that wasn't comfortable. Yeah, so that was listed on CalJobs. That was one of the listings, and I read it. I'm like, what? Because I was looking up housekeeping, and they're like, oh, it's a housekeeping job slash nanny. And I'm like, oh, no. And they were offering a, nice, generous wage, plus free rent and all that, and you could live on the property, and they're probably very wealthy people. They probably have a nice house. So they probably have a really nice guest house that you can live in while you take care of their house and their kids. But I'm like, nah. Because they're like, you have to do background check. And I'm like, I have no problem doing that, but I don't want to take care of your kids too. You know? I don't know. I mean, they've probably already found somebody by now that was willing to do it and live on property. And it's a full-time job. So you're taking care of their house and their children full-time. That's crazy. It's crazy. And it was right over in the Sacramento area. These people, they had a house over in Sacramento. So I'd have to move to Sacramento to do that. Or move in with them in Sacramento and take care of their house and their kids. And I'm like, well, I have a husband and a child. It's like, what do I do with them? They come with me. It's like, how do you work that out? Plus, I'd have to be a chauffeur for their children and all that, and clean up their house and all this other crap. It's just insanity. I'm like, it sounds tasty, but I don't want to take care of your kids. You know what I mean? They just wanted the whole taco. They want you to take care of their kids too. It's like, yeah, not only that, you can take care of my kids and chauffeur my kids around. Then they probably gonna have you do all the grocery shopping, all that. You know what I mean? Picking up packages. You just be a gopher. They would just run you ragged. You'd be like, you're earning every freaking cent. You just be constantly doing things for them. You wouldn't even have any free time for yourself. They're like very little. Like your whole life would be taking care of them and their house. It's like, that's crazy. It's like, I'm so desperate, but I'm like, oh, maybe not. Maybe not that desperate. You know what I mean? And I just thought it was kind of funny at the same time. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at that, but I'm not going to take care of your children. I don't want to be responsible for your kids, taking them to school and all that and dealing with their homework and stuff. It's like, I got my own son. I'm not going to neglect my child to take care of your children, because then I want time for my child. Yeah, it does. It would make you on duty 24/7 because you'd be on their property. You'd be responsible for their children and their property and keeping their property clean in their house and keeping their kids in line. You know what I mean? Just all of it. You would be totally responsible for that. And these people are probably doctors. They're probably lawyer or doctor or whatever, and they have a nice income and they live comfortably. And they just want someone to help keep up the house and the kids because they're at work all the time, probably like in their office all the time. So they have time for children and house, keeping their house clean. So yeah, it's a nice offer, but it's like you got to hire a nanny separately for the kids. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll clean your house, but I'm not taking care of your children too. I'll clean your house and like pick up groceries for you. Fine, I can do that. I can go to the store and pick up whatever you need. And I don't know, I might cook, but I'm not even sure if that was even included in the description. Maybe, yeah. Maybe that was also, cooking and cleaning kids and all that, and chauffeuring and shopping and all that. It's like they just run you ragged. You know what I mean? That's crazy. It's like, I don't know. Who would be willing to do that? Someone who doesn't have any children, obviously, a single female could probably do it. But then, it gets weird. It's like, then you don't have a life because you're constantly taking care of their life. You know what I mean? You're not actually living your life. You're living your life through them. They are paying you, granted, but you don't have much free time for yourself. You just be constantly taking care of their family and their house and all that. So it'd be kind of weird, you know what I mean? It's so gothic. It's so Frankenstein-like. You know what I mean? It's like you knock on the door and it's like a haunted house type of thing. You're like, here, I'm here for the housekeeping job, and they're like, come here and sit down in the den. She'll be here in a minute to interview you. The master of the house. It's like, oh crap, I don't want that crap. It's like a huge property, right? And then you find out there's it's like a movie of the week or something. It's like I've seen 2 movies of the week, too many of them, and I don't know if I like this. You know what I mean? It's just weird. I know I'm griping, but it was like a possibility. They want to hire a mother, right? Because the children's own mother has admitted she doesn't have time for all the mother stuff, the house and the children, because she's busy working, and so is the dad. They're both just too busy to take care of the kids in the house because they have to pay all their expenses, so they have to stay in the office all the time working. And they're probably, like I said, doctors and lawyers or whatever, and they're just busy, busy, busy. And they're very wealthy, so they need someone to take care of the children and their house. And someone who's like me, who's like desperate for money, it's like, it's enticing, but it just sounds so overwhelming. Just the caseload, all the work would be so overwhelming. You know what I mean? I'm so desperate, but it's like, what the hell, dude? You ever seen that one movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Come on, man. It's like, do you really want to hire someone to do all that work? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do all the cooking and cleaning and take care of your children, right? And I'm gonna be like the kid's mama, basically. And your husband's gonna be like, hey, you're doing a better job than their own mother is. Be like, yeah, and I'm fucking pissed. I'd be like, I'm pissed off half the time, so I must be like their damn mother. So the kids are driving me nuts. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna reach back and smack you. It's like, wait a minute, it's not my kid. Be quiet back there. I'm gonna smack you. It's like, wait a minute, it's not my children. It's like their mother's like, oh, I'll be home at 10 o'clock tonight. It's like, because your freaking mom ain't here to discipline you little turds. And I guarantee they treat me like that movie, The Sound of Music. They probably try to stick a frog in my freaking shit, like in my food or something. They do like pranks and stuff. I'd be like, dude, what the hell, man? I'd be better off shaking a tin can on the freaking street corner and dealing with this crap. You know what I mean? I'm not kidding. It's like they'd be mischievous and all that. They'd be all sneaky and stuff. Be like, yeah, you're not my mom. Can't tell me what to do. My mom's in charge. I'll get you in trouble because my mom's your boss. They pull that kind of crap. You'd be like, okay. Because they'd be a hella naughty because you're not their mom. You'd be like, oh yeah, you're in charge? Oh yeah, right. And I've seen enough movies about that where the kids are like, yeah, you think you're in charge? My foot. And they just totally take advantage and shit, And I just become like Nurse Ratched and be like, okay, don't pull this crap because I'm out. And then the mom would be like, no, don't quit on us. The kids really like you, I know that they set your hair on fire and all that. It's fine. It'll grow back. It's like, I'm not coming back. Oh my God, this sucks. You know what I mean? It's like the kids really love you. They've grown so fond of you. You've been here for a while and you put up with their crap. It's like, I know exactly. It's called crap. Have you ever babysat kids? Yeah, try doing that full time and living in the house with the kids, Yeah, they'd probably try to like put your hand in warm water in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. That kind of stuff. Because they're like, we don't like you because you're bossy. You follow all the rules my mom made, and I'm not following the rules, and you're boring and stupid. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, because I'm trying to make money. So yeah, you're here just to be a little jerk and just mooch off your parents. and be an asshole and eventually get a Mercedes from them when you're 14 or whatever, 16. I'm here to work so I can make money. That's all that's the only reason I'm here. You know what I mean? It's the only reason I'm here. Otherwise, I'd be doing something else. You know? So it could be easier just to be a homeless person and just go look for a place to take a shower. You know what I mean? I used to babysit elderly at their homes. Oh yeah, because sometimes old people can get dementia and they need someone there to help take care of them. Like they forget to do things, like they forget to take their pills, they forget to, they need help with things around the house because they can't push the vacuum anymore because they maybe their bones are breaking or they're in a wheelchair or something. Yeah, yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, as long as they're not jerks, if they're easygoing people and they're just disabled or whatever, it's fine. I can do some stuff around the house to help keep up with things for you. If you're old and you can't get around, you can't bend over and clean your bathtub or your shower or whatever because your bones are broken. You got maybe a really bad arthritis or whatever, something, right? Or you just crippled. Yeah, I can do that. I can totally do it. You know, do your dishes or whatever you need. But I'm not going to be a nurse, no. But I can clean up your house. And it's weird. It's like, how do you advertise that online that you could do that? Like I can clean your house, but just leave me the hell alone. Just don't fuck with me when I'm doing it. Yeah, that's exactly why. And there's not anything around here like that. Like there's people advertise, they go, "Oh, I'm a professional house cleaner and I just need some jobs or whatever." And there's people posting that on Facebook and everything. It's like, well, I got too much competition because I do the same thing. You know, I do the same exact thing. That's why I said That's why I applied for that all casting thing because I'm trying to weigh out my options. Like okay, maybe I can get some help from them, or maybe I can just get a regular job. It'll be fine because I only signed up for 3 months of that service. So after it expires or whatever, I'm not going to renew it. Like if nothing comes of it, I won't renew it. It's fine. It was just an experiment because eventually I'm going to end up somewhere. I'll end up at the job doing something and I'll be all right. Worst case scenario, I'll try to get a job at Frosty or something, making milkshakes or something. I don't care. I mean, at this point, I don't really give a damn. My mom has Alzheimer's. I'm caring for now. Yeah, exactly. Because when you get that, they have forgetfulness and all that. They just need reminders and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a career in that too. Although it's not your career, but you understand. Like you could be kind of like a housekeeper slash caretaker for somebody. So yeah, I could totally do that as long as they're not mean or anything. The person's not mean. I can totally do that. I'm flexible. As long as I don't have to take the cure. I'm not taking the cure. Like they're like, oh, there's like housekeeping jobs in the hospitals. A couple of the hospitals I have in town here, and they literally said in the description that you have to have the C19 cure in order to apply for the job. You have to show proof that you have the 19 cure, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not applying for that because I don't have 19 cure. I didn't take the 19 cure, and I'm not going to say what it is because I can't say it on here. But that's one of the requirements is you have to have proof of the 19 cure because you're working in healthcare. So around healthcare professionals, even though you're just a housekeeper or you clean the place up, you still have to have proof of that. And I'm like, what? That sucks. I'm not taking the 19. Housekeeping, no BS, just deep cleaning fast. Yeah. I don't need the 19 cure to clean up. It's like, I'm not going to infect anybody. I guarantee it. At this point, most people have immunities and they already dealt with it in the past. They've already dealt with the 19 and most people have got immunity from it. And if they do pick it up again, it probably won't be as severe because they've already been exposed to it from last time. So yeah, they make a bigger deal out of it than it actually is. So I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live in a world like that where people are afraid of everything. I don't want to be afraid. And I want people afraid around me. It just makes me feel like crap. It's like, just stop being weird. That's why I lost one of my jobs because I've worked before a lot of times because I wouldn't wear the, what? I wouldn't wear the diaper, the face diaper. I just said, no, I'm not wearing that because it's just part of the oppression and I don't want to be oppressed. I said, I'm not going to take the knee to anybody. I don't believe in this crap. I don't believe that actually works, and I refuse to do it. And my boss told me to put my card away and clock out, and I did. I did what he told me, but I refused to wear it, and I refused to temperature check. And my boss is like, "Well, you have to do that, and you have to temperature check every day you clock in." And I'm like, "I can't do that. I already told you that months ago, before you guys did this. I wasn't going to do that." And they're like, "Well, you have to, because if you want to keep your job, you have to." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. You're the only woman I know that's normal." Well, normal for what? Normal compared to what, right? I understand. I understand. That's all it is. And I understand what they're trying to do. And that's back then, I fully got it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this because it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better, me going along with it. It's not going to get better, because I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to get better. Because like a couple months after they fired me for not wearing the face diaper and not temperature checking at my job, they laid people off like 2 months later. They got laid off, and they got laid off for almost a year, because you were a service worker and you were non-essential. So I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I just knew they were going to start that crap. No sleever for me, right? Me neither. I'm a smoker, asthma, 57, never got that 19, never got the 19, and I'm never sleever, right? Yeah, because you don't need to live in fear. And you know what? If it did take you out, if it actually took you out, that would be God's will. Because if you believe in God, then you would understand His will. You would believe in God's will. You'd say, well, that was God's choice that I didn't make it. You know, it was God's choice that I didn't get that job today. It was God's will that didn't work out. Because if it was in His will, it would have worked out. So He decided that wasn't going to work for me today. And that's fine, because I'll just move on to something else. I will move on to something else. And I will continue to not comply. And that can mean a lot of things. Like, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, then read between the lines. Because I'm not going to get into specifics. But I'm not going to give in to something that's evil. I'm not going to go along with it. And we haven't got to the beast, the one that's coming. He hasn't shown himself yet. So we're not at that point yet. And there's people going around saying Trump is the Antichrist, but he's not, because half the country hates him, and he doesn't blaspheme God. He actually thanks God for the reason why he's still here, why he wasn't removed, And it came close. It came pretty close. He would have moved his head, obviously, a different direction. He might not be here anymore. He might be gone. But God must have told him to move. Something in his mind told him to look down or look up at that banner, and it saved his life. So he thanks God for that. And that's not the Antichrist. The Antichrist would not thank God for anything. The Antichrist would deny God, that God exists. So no, he's not the Antichrist. Yeah, he's got a huge ego, yeah, but he's not the Antichrist. So yeah, I agree 100%. God's in control. He is. The grandma, they said, would be gone. Yeah. Yeah, they were all saying, oh, if you're 65 or older, you should get the 19. You're more susceptible to that. It's like, bullshit. And you already know what the treatments are. And it's not that. And like people over 65, when they took the alternative, they were completely fine. They were protected. They flushed their systems out. And they did a lot better than the people that took the cure. Guaranteed. They did a lot better. And they're still here. Look at Alex Jones. He gave the alternative to his dad, and his dad's here, and he got sick. Yeah, it's true. He did get sick, and he gave his dad the cure, which was hard to get, which starts with an I, and the zinc and the vitamin C, and his dad is still here. And if he hadn't done that, his dad wouldn't be here. So he thanks the developers, or the inventors of the I medicine and the H medicine, for why he's still here. And it flushed his system out and got rid of the stuff, the gunk. Basically, it's just gunk. cleaned it out, and then he was fine. He said he was fine within 24 hours. He was completely fine. He was up and walking around. He was fine, almost completely cured of the sickness. So the powers that be denied us that treatment, and it cost people their lives because they denied them that treatment, and that should be never forgiven. No, maybe forgiven. I don't know. It's not our place to not forgive, right? We can forgive but not forget. Let's just say that. I guess that's our duty, is to forgive but not forget. Like, we can forgive whoever caused 9/11, but we can't forget that it happened. We can't erase that it happened. We can't get rid of that. It's never going to be erased. You know, they want to erase everything. They want to erase our statues and all that. That's why I made that one video. It's kind of stupid, but I was trying not to make it political, but it's on my Snoopy Woodstock channel. I had Charlie Brown, and I said, we need to be more accepting of people that look different. I said, especially Charlie Brown, because people that look like Charlie Brown are not being accepted or being demonized and treated differently than people that don't look like Charlie Brown. And that's really wrong. And people really need to think about that. That's all I said. I mean, I didn't really want to get into it, but I kind of used the example of people that look like Charlie Brown or Linus or any of those characters that look like Charlie Brown are being demonized and saying they're evil. You know, it's just really wrong. And that's all I put in that video, you know. So there's that. Because that's my real feelings on it, you know. And I'm not trying to spoil anyone's picnic, you know, by being negative, but it's true. I mean, I try to put it down to a child's level, you know, that people that look like Charlie Brown shouldn't be treated differently than people that look like other characters on there that are darker skin, you know. We should all be treated the same. Doesn't matter what you look like or what your ethnicity is. Should be treated exactly the same. No different than anybody else. And see, we're having a problem with that now. Is that people that look like Charlie Brown are being treated like crap and being pushed to the back because of discriminatory hiring practices. And people that look like Charlie Brown aren't given opportunities. The same people that don't look like Charlie Brown get more opportunities, which is not fair. Because maybe Charlie Brown has more qualifications than the other person that doesn't look like Charlie Brown. But Charlie Brown doesn't even get considered for those positions because of his race. And it's being reversed. And they keep saying, oh, talking about Martin Luther King. It's like, no, it's more like the other way around. It's not Martin Luther King, I have a dream. It's George Washington saying, what happened to my country? The founders of this country are being demonized, and along with the people that look like the founders are being demonized and saying they're evil and that they need to be dealt with in a certain way, I guess I say. So, anyways, thank you to the 4 people that are still sticking around watching my video. But like I said, I got that email from the guy from the magazine, and I can't say the name of it because I don't want to divulge anything yet. I mean, it's not like it's super, super private or anything. It's just whatever. But I don't want to get into it yet until I find out what's happening. But if he actually gives me a chance, I'll really be happy. I mean, if it's actually legit, I'm going to be very happy about that. If it goes through. If it doesn't, I'll just, you know, like that job interview, I'll just move on. Hey, hi, David Yates. Thank you for coming in. I've never seen you come in on my channel except for a comment, but never a live stream. Yeah, how's it over on your neck of the woods, right? I'm in California, by the way, David. So, but yeah, I tried to get a job today and it didn't work out. And it's okay because I accept it. It's fine. Oh, they sprayed massively? Yeah. See, your channel's being shadow banned too. And I accept that mine is too as well. It's fine. I understand. That's why I moved on to a different avenue. It's like a talent agency. I signed up for it. I just want to see if I have anything that they're interested in. And I want to kind of expand out. And they also promote people that have YouTube channels. So I'm hoping I can submit some of my YouTube videos and they might promote them. and help like make my channel a little bigger. So I had to pay for the service, of course, but I want to utilize it as much as I can to kind of spread the information that I know without being overly offensive. Yeah, thank you, David. Well, you don't have to say bless you for still being around. I'm just around. I'm just somebody just talking online. But I've tried to warn people about things like you have. Not the chemtrails, of course. I'm not an expert on that. I'm not going to pretend I am. I'm not in the least. But I do try to warn people about, like things that are happening, like the electric cars and also the dams and stuff in my state that are like falling apart, that kind of stuff, and the earthquakes and stuff. And if we have a massive earthquake, these dams could literally break loose and cause like a tidal wave, wash out these cities. I'm just trying to warn people. And in the beginning, people watched it. I mean, I'm not kidding. They did watch it. And then something happened to where it was like nobody there, and it's fine because I understand now. I fully understand what's happening, and now they're making it to where I can't thumb up people's videos, not all of them, but some of them I'm not able to thumb them up. So there's just something not right, something not right with the electronic world that I'm not fully aware of. So yeah, I'm kind of at a point where I'm okay with not being upset about this YouTube thing. I'm accepting it, and at first it kind of hurt, but now I'm like kind of cool with it. I'm like, maybe it's not in the cards. I'm not Mark Dice or Tim Pool or whatever. I don't have the gift of gab they have, to pull in an audience. I don't have that. It's kind of dull, but I understand things when I see them, and I'm just an average American, I guess, that sees the reality. Like, I didn't believe when I was a kid when they tried to say we came from monkeys and shit. Sorry about my language. That we came from monkeys. I never bought into that we came from monkeys. For those who are atheists, no offense. But I never believed we came from monkeys. So it's just all bullshit. Any of my videos I have to do with truth or magnetics or God is censored and gets nothing views, right? But if I play guitar in the woods, I immediately get 800 views off the bat. Yeah, exactly. Like if you just stay off politics and off of scientific things, oh yeah, they don't touch you. They won't touch you. I mean, I did try doing like Snoopy videos because it was an experiment to see what they would do, like what the reaction would be or whatever. And it did okay, I guess. They did all right. I mean, I'm not unhappy about it. It's okay. We learn from each other. Monkeys was crap. Evolution is an evil solution. Right. Because they try to make it look like we're related to animals and we're not. The animals are here to serve us. We don't serve animals, They're trying to make it sound like animals are more important than human life, And human life is more valuable than animals. I'm sorry, even if you love your cat or dog or something, it's fine, but is their life more important than your baby's life or your grandkid's life or whatever? No, they're not. You would save your grandchildren and your children over a cat or a dog. You still love your pet, but your children's life is more valuable than animals. Sorry, I'm sorry. I mean, some people might get offended by that, people that are cat mommies and doggy mommies, but human life is more important than an animal's life. Sorry. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Because we're trying to protect our babies and our babies. We're trying to protect them and keep them informed. And, Agenda 25, they were talking about Agenda 25 in our country, right? And they're demonizing it and saying how horrible it is. It's actually really good. It actually reinforces laws in our country. And it helps eliminate, they said one of the amendments in Agenda 25 is to eliminate the school system. The federal government can no longer control us and make our kids go to school, like state schools, that you can homeschool your children in Agenda 25. There's so many good things in Agenda 25. They said it's awesome. Yeah, it's written by constitutional scholars, and they've tried to introduce these bills to Congress, and they're apparently not interested in that legislation to enact Agenda 25, which is awesome. So I haven't fully looked it up, but there's a lady online. Her channel is called Starkey Homestead, and she explains Agenda 25. And she's like, if you read it, you will love Agenda 25. It is awesome. And she's like, they revise it every couple of years, but it's written by constitutional scholars, and they've tried to introduce it into Congress, and they just don't show any interest in it and enacting it and voting on it and making it law. So yeah, there's that. It literally restores order to our country, and it gets the tyrants out. Basically, what they're going to do is have a robot or a computer rule over humanity, and everyone's supposed to worship the idol or else. Right. Exactly. I mean, I was told that I wasn't even allowed to practice Christianity at work. Like, I can't say God bless you to somebody or anything like that. You know, I couldn't do that. And I guess somebody complained, I guess, said I did. And it's like, how is that harming somebody by saying bless you or God loves you, or, you know, repent what you did and you will be forgiven of your sins? And it's like, it's not hurting anybody, even if you were an atheist and you don't believe in that or whatever. How did that harm you? I don't see how that harmed you, actually. You would just say thank you. Even if you're an atheist, you just say thank you for that. That shows that you actually care, that you would pray for me and hope that I would change my ways, or that maybe a family member needed help and you prayed for me. That was awesome. You know, even if you are an atheist, you'd still appreciate the sentiment of the thought, you know. But some people get really offended that they go and tell on you and try to get you in trouble. And I thought that was really messed up, you know. It's like, really, I can't say that Jesus loves you to somebody that's having a really bad day, and maybe they don't want to wake up in the morning, and you tell them that to try to cheer them up, because it's the truth, you know. To me, it is. I don't know how other people feel, but at the end of the day, for me, that is the truth. So I try to spread the word, and I don't try to shove it down anyone's throat. But if they're looking to me to console them, it's like, that's something I might say, you know, to try to boost their spirits up, because it's like, at the end of the day, you know, who loves you is God, the creator. You know, that's who loves you. No matter how bad you feel about yourself and your situation, God is in your corner. He loves you, and you'll get through it. And then I tell them that, and then they go and say something, go tell on me, right? It's like, I don't even know why, you know. Then you get in trouble for that. It's just really sad, because they're phasing it out. They're phasing God out of everything. It's offensive now to people, you know. It's like, how is wishing somebody joy or whatever in God offensive? Because in the end, it is the truth. God is the truth. He is the absolute truth. It's not a lie. So I got cussed out for saying bless you when my coworker sneezed, so I quit. Well, that's rude. Someone cussed you out for saying bless you. They're like, oh, how dare you force your Christianity on me because I sneezed. It's like, because our country was based on Christian values, founded on Christian values, you know? So why are we erasing that from our culture? We're just erasing Christianity as our foundation. They don't want Christianity, because Christianity equals accountability. And people don't want to be accountable for bad behavior. They just want to live in the moment, you know? That's all it is. And then these evil ones, they want them to live in the moment and be evil and godless, and then get rid of their mistakes that they made in a bar, you know, which is a pregnancy maybe. And it's like, this is sick. I had a crazy dream that seemed so real, where I had to hide in this hole because there was a robot with blades on it mowing down the people in the city. That sounds like Terminator 2, huh? With the skulls, I guess. There's like, and then the people are underground, like trying to hide from the machines. And then there's like some warriors left that are fighting the machines, but they're losing the battle. Kind of sounds like that, huh? The rise of the machines. It's offensive to Satan, right? Yeah. And it's sad, because it's really sad when it's the person who says it to you is a person that's a Christian that tells you not to do it. And it's like, really? You're going to tell me not to spread the word of God, and you being a Christian, telling me not to spread the word of God to someone who's maybe in despair. I can't try to console them and say that Jesus loves them. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah. It's like that's a sad day when you're told that you can't spread the word of God to somebody who might be uh, losing hope. It's like that's your hope is God. Don't ever let that go. Don't think about worldly things when you feel like crap. You know, think about God. Pray to God. Ask God to give you strength, give you guidance. That's what you need to be looking to. Not a bottle of alcohol or drugs or whatever. You need to look to God to give you strength. And you know what? He always sends somebody to you, an actual living person, to kind of give you a sign that he does care. Like when you're about to give up, all of a sudden someone offers you something and it actually saves your life, you know? When you just when you're about to give up is when God comes through and he pulls you out of the muck and the crap. You gotta be strong. And those people that died in North Carolina, that was God's will too. And they're in a better place. The people that died, yeah, their bodies are in the mud and they're not been buried and given a proper burial, but their souls are in heaven with God. Because they probably their last moments of life, they probably prayed to God to save their souls, and they're probably in heaven with God. Because if they did have any sin on their soul, they probably got it off their chest right then and there, right before they died. So they're probably fine. So the evil ones are the ones who caused the catastrophic storms, and their souls are now wiped clean from Jesus, the ones who died in the storms. So I would say I wouldn't worry about their bodies, because it's just a shell anyway of who they were. Their soul went up to God. Just saying, right? I wouldn't worry about it. If I died in a flood and I was in God with God, I wouldn't care about my body. If it was sitting in mud or something, I'm not there anymore. I'm with God. It's just a shell. So it's the people on earth who have to repent that are still alive and heed the warning and take the warning and not say it's a joke and mock God. Like that governor from Michigan doing communion or whatever they call it, mocking God. Yeah, that's the kind of crap you shouldn't be doing. It's mocking our Lord. It's just sickening. You're making me think a few months ago where I ministered to a girl, and then later on I was caught flack from another person because I preached the word to them. Yeah, there's some people that will literally like go off on you for telling them that Jesus loves them. They get heckin' mad. Yeah, in court you swear on a Bible. I think I heard that someone say they took Bibles out of the courtrooms, but I'm not really sure. Because I've never had to swear on a Bible recently, so I don't know what the deal is with that. Kind of interesting, huh? I don't know. If they persecuted me, they shall also persecute you. No servant is above his master. Right calls us friends. Yeah, they're going to hate you for my namesake. And they already are persecuting Christians in other countries. They're being taken care of, if you know what I mean. Not in a good way. I don't want to say the word on here. But yeah, they're already taking care of Christians in other countries and not in a good way. So we're next. I mean, we're going to have to make a choice. Whether you're going to live for the world or you're going to live for the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You only live on this earth for so long, but while you're here, you need to acknowledge that Jesus is Lord and not a leader that is going to dominate you and force you to go into the matrix, into the chip. That's probably why they're so adamant about all this destruction and all that, because they're getting ready to make all these chips. I'm just saying, right? And they're going to do it first in China. They're probably already getting ready to do it to the Chinese people. You don't hear any Chinese people speaking out because they're afraid, because their government will mess them up. They do. So we're in the last days of having free speech, I think. They're going to basically censor everybody after the election, I think. If Kamala Harris gets in, they're going to censor everybody online. And look, they're getting ready to throw Elon Musk in prison. They want to throw him in prison for giving $1 million away to somebody, to random people who signed his petition. They're going to say it's campaign finance fraud or something. I don't know what it is. They'll say it's bribery or whatever. So I don't know if you read that or heard that, but they want to throw him in prison for that, for giving away his own money. It's like, if he wants to throw it out in the street and $1 million every day out the window, he's not breaking any laws. They want to get him on something like that. They're like, we got to get him on that. You know, he's bribing people. It's like, no, it's not a bribe. People are sticking their necks out to vote for Trump. And they know if he doesn't win, that $1 million they got ain't going to mean crap once they've been thrown in, the JAIL, where the January 6th people are. That money ain't going to do anything. They could give that all to an attorney and it won't matter, because the tyrants are going to throw away the key. I was told the Bible is hate speech. I didn't argue. I walked away praying for that person. Yeah. There was actually a weirdo that said that it was okay to be gay according to the Bible. And I'm like, okay, And it's like, I just got tired of arguing with that person because they're just wrong, Because he was like, oh, I have a gay cousin and I'd kick anyone's ass that says anything about it, like against him. And it's like, ew, okay. I don't hate the person. I said, I don't hate anybody. I just don't like the sin. I'm not gonna endorse the sin. I'm not gonna support them. I'm not gonna be happy for them that they're doing this. I'm gonna be praying for their soul and telling them they need to repent that. If a family member said, I'm, TRANS, and I'd be like, you need to repent that, because that's wrong. If you read the Bible, it says it in the Bible, if a man wears women's clothing or a woman wears man's clothing, it's a sin. It's condemnable. And people are doing that now, and they don't care. They don't care about God. They don't care about anything related to our God. They don't care. And they don't care about the signs in the sky. We're supposed to look up. That's what Jesus said. In the end of days, look up, because you're going to see the signs. And look, when we look up, we see pinstriping. And it's the end. It's all the metal, the Reynolds wrap is up there in the sky. And it's making us stupid, the aluminum, and it's conductive, and it's going into our brain, right? It's seeping into our pores, into our brain. And then we hear these little beeping noises, like buzzing noises once in a while. It's because of the power on the hill there, the tower of power, right? It's going through us, it's going through our cells. We're being radiated, and it's messing our cells up and making us more run down. That's probably why there's an explosion of cancer, because it's radiating parts of our bodies. And you start to feel it after a while. Start to feel the effects of it. And we're constantly surrounded by it. So it's breaking our systems down to the point where even if you don't get cancer, you just degenerate so bad, you'll be so dumb. You'd be like, like dementia. That's what they want to dumb us all down, so we don't know what the hell is going on. Speaking of aluminum, I was looking at this Dolly Parton. She has like these cakes and cake mixes she has that she sells. And anyways, I bought a box of them because they were cheap, right? A box of cake mix, and I was baking it, and then I was just looking at the ingredients, and it's like one of the ingredients is aluminum in the ingredient list. And it's like, that's what they're spraying up there. And then we're eating it too. It's like in our food. It's in our baking products, right? All this stuff. And it's like landing. And then when they do that, it like lands on our crops too, and then it's getting mixed in with our food that we're eating. And then when you eat raw vegetables and stuff, it's like literally dusted onto the food and absorbed into the food. So we're constantly eating those chemicals. We're being radiated with it. So yeah, we're being medicated all the time, and we don't even realize it, that we're being medicated. It's kind of sick, isn't it, when you think about it? It's really sick. So, yep, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's getting worse too. It's getting worse. And under Kamala, it's going to get a lot worse. So, It's really sick. How many more days we got left, right? Till the election. It's not much we can do but wait. And just don't give in to the evil, no matter what. Because evil will try to entice you with money and bribes and all that. And they know how desperate you are because you're going to be starving. Just pray for the people that are in the prison right now for January 6th that are being mistreated. Because there was a lawyer that emailed me, and he sent out blanket emails probably to a lot of people asking for money because he says he needs enough money to keep defending these people to get them out of that prison because they've been mistreated by the guards, the DC guards, and they're not given water and stuff, and they're just being tortured, in any way you can probably imagine, like food and all that. And they're begging to be sent to Guantanamo Bay, I guess, because they said it's a lot better conditions than the DC jail, but they won't transfer them. So it hella sucks. So they have to still wait. Even if Trump gets in, they still have to wait till January 16th or 17th or whatever. Once he's finally in, he can pardon them, and then they can get out right away. So they have to wait till January. So it's still a long wait. And I'm sure they're probably aware of what's going on. They're just stuck in these cells. So they're probably awaiting the election to see what happens. And if Trump wins, they're like, please pardon us. Hopefully he will. Because if he doesn't, that's going to be really wrong. Because they want out of there. And they've already served their time. They need to be let out. So anyways, appreciate the views. Thanks for watching. And thank you for coming in, Tammy and Deaf Bread and let's see, Josie Wales. My favorite name, right? And then David Yates, thanks for coming in from your channel. You'd be doing a lot better if your channel wasn't so censored, obviously, but they'll just keep doing it. But it is what it is. This means you're over the mark. That's why they're censoring the crap out of you. But thank you guys for coming in and have a nice day. Bye-bye.